Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. Today I'll be going up with a tier series for a DBBR 185. So this is reverse ignored. This is the reverse ignored one. As you can see, you could see Raylon and stuff a little bit. But it's mostly the DB logo on the side. So yeah. If there's no Raylon livery on the side, but like it's invisible, but you can kind of see it. That's the reverse ignored one. The one with the big Raylon lettering is the main Spessart Bond one. But anyways, let's get started. So first off, you're gonna want to enter the cap door on either side and climb up the steps to get in. This is the cap of a 185. In the back over here, you got a CIFA button, in case you hear like a beeping and you're being like a conductor or something. You got a horn, got a passenger door button. You got LZB, PZB override, or acknowledge, override, release, and shunting control. Here you got an emergency button. So let's head to the back. First, you're gonna want to hold the battery and hold down the battery for 5 seconds. Once it's on, you'll see like a yellow light come on. You're gonna want to set your signal lights to headlights or taillights. You're gonna want to put the pantograph to auto. You're gonna want to make sure the electric brake is cut in, which means there's no like white light that's on here. And BU/EP switch, I don't know what that does. And back here you got PZB and CIFA. There's no LZB on this train for some reason, but they might add it in the future because this runs on a line that runs LCB, so yeah. You also got a CIFA button here too. Down here, this handle, red handle, is your emergency brake valve. ELSSPN, I think you're gonna want to keep that in EL. If you're hauling freight, which you most likely are, you're going to want the PZB, and you're using PZB, you're going to want the PZB mode to M. Yeah, as you see, that's the main Spessart Bond one. You got your wipers here. If you open the window here, you can actually do shunting control. So yeah. Same for the other side too. Just open the window there, and you can do shunting. Down here you got the AFB main switch. We'll go over that in a second. Got console light. You can make it brighter or more dim. Got like a telephone down here too, but nothing else to really interact with. So yeah. Now let's sit in the driver's position. This is where you'll spend most of your time. First off, you're going to want to put this to neutral to let the brakes charge. Meanwhile it's doing that, you can raise the pantograph and close the main circuit breaker. I'll start the locomotive. If you hold train line and start for 5 seconds, it will turn on. And once it's after 5 seconds, you can release it. Once you stop hearing like that noise, or whatever that was, you can put that to forward or reverse. If you want headlights and stuff on, you're gonna want the master and instrument lights on. You got cab light, you can put it to desk light or cab light. Here you got your headlights. Let me show you the different variations real quick. Signal lights normal, headlights reduced, and then headlights bright. So yeah, if your brakes aren't releasing, just hold this and release for a few seconds. Excuse me. Sorry about that. You got sand as well for steep gradients. Here are your LGB, PGB, acknowledge, release, and override buttons. Here you're going to want to have your air compressor on and your traction motor fan to automatic. So here are your main screens here. This, the middle one, if you hit in display, this will pop up. But if you hit 6 again, it will disappear. So yeah. Oh. OS turns it off. Brightness. Contrast. And yeah. Over here, in display. Same thing as the other screen. C/BR brings up this. Don't know what that is. So yeah. OS also turns it off. And then you can do your brightness and contrast. Banking com. This isn't really used on this route, I feel like, so you don't really have to use it. But it's really used in Maine's Best Art Bond. So yeah. Reminder that the two 185s are really the same. Well, like the two DB 185s are really the same. So anything you see here applies for the Railion 185 as well. You also got a brake overcharge button. Got a horn button too, along with passenger door switch. Direct brake, which is your locomotive brake. Train brake, and electric brake. Electric's your dynamics. train is your wagon and locomotive brake. To do a brake test, you're going to want to put this to full service, then back to 1B, and then just put it to release. Yeah, once you hear that noise until it stops, that means your brakes are still charging. So yeah. But yeah, I think that wraps it up. But to use AFB, turn on the main switch. This blue bar will appear on the HUD. This switch, you can use a switch to adjust AFB. You could also see this like yellow circle or diamond on the speedometer. As you see, I put it to 100 and now it's on the 100 bar. So yeah. Then you could put your throttle to like slightly adjust your throttle a little bit. Until you start rolling. Once you start rolling, you're good to go. Also forgot to point out the emergency pantograph button down here. Those be acknowledge, override, release, and shunting control, etc. But yeah, so that does it for the 185. Now let's move on to the next locomotive. So now we are on the TBBR 155, also known as what I call the rectangle box, because it's literally a giant rectangle that's shaped like a box. But anyways, this is a classic one, so it might be a little more complex, but let's get inside. First, you're going to want to open a door, one of the doors on each side, and climb up to get in. As you see, we're not in the cab yet. Also, here are some corridor lights, which will turn on lights in the corridor. First off, coming back here, you got PCB mode, which will most likely be M if we're hauling freight. And here is also your PCB switch. You don't want the battery isolation to be on. The auxiliary compressor to automatic. Also, you got CFA down here as well. Set the pantograph to 2. Anyways, let's go into the cab. Over here, you got a horn button and a wiper speed button. Your wipers. CFA. And yeah. So over here, you got cab lights and your gauge lights. cab lights are here too. So yeah, cab heating is also here as well. You're gonna want to make sure power supply gets turned on, your transformer is turned on, raise the pantograph, and close the main circuit breaker. Cab brightness, dim, or bright. I honestly prefer bright, but it's up to you. PCB override, release, and acknowledge is over here too. I want to make sure headlight brightness is bright. You also got your sand is here too. Bridging brake pressure monitor, I don't know what that does. Got your cooling fans. Compressor you're gonna want to put to automatic. You got your headlights. You got headlight right. White means that this cab is the leading one. And the headlight, it doesn't have the white/red setting. So yeah, I'll show you what white looks like. Here's what white looks like. This is what it will look like if this is the trailing cab. So yeah, if this is the trailing locomotive, you might want to put that to the red setting, the red light setting. So yeah, lights. Put it back to the white for now. Next, you're gonna want to put it to forward. And then put the pantograph to raise and close the main circuit breaker. And that will start the locomotive. Next, you're going to want to turn on your brake key and release this. Direct brake, by the way, is your locomotive brake too. So this has a pretty unique throttle setting. The tap changer. So yeah, tap changer, which I'll go over in a minute. Put that to forward. You have a CIFA button. Control lights look like this. Now, the brake force selector is pretty unique setting. I honestly prefer 100 if you want max brake setting. Traction force selector, you can put it to whatever you prefer. I honestly like 100. So yeah. Driver's desk light, I don't know what that is, where that is, but I might find out in a second. You also got a sun visor. For both sides. Those yellow lights there on the console or the desk over there is your throttle indicator. All the other lights like to the right of it are PCB and stuff like that. So yeah, the CIFA light is where my cursor is. So if that's on, then you're gonna wanna hit the CIFA button. And now apply handbrake so you can release the rest of the brakes. Emergency shutdown, I think that shuts down your locomotive. So yeah, and I'm not gonna find out. You guys can find out for yourself. So yeah. Over here, got a horn too. Wiper speed, and a wiper. SIFA as well. Cab heating. Also got a manual wiper. So yeah. Yeah. And that's it. So release the handbrake. Now, this train does not have AFB. So yeah. Anyways, if you pull the changer like that, it'll start going, but I think we need to do something else here. Make sure that's good. All that. That's released. Let me go check here. Yeah, everything's set. Window. Ooh. We also got a window for the cab. I forgot. This is the other cab, by the way. Yeah, that just leads you to a dead end on the left side. So, thing back here is on the right side of the locomotive. You can also adjust your height for the chair. Don't get why it's not going. So, also this thing has like 30 notches, so once it hits 30, it's good. So yeah, but if you do the tutorial, it will show you how to actually start up this thing. Power supply should be on too. But anyways, that does it for the oh wait, never mind. Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot. You gotta hold this in close for a few seconds. So yeah, that is how you start up a DBBR 155. What? 155, not 185. So yeah. Sorry about the misleadings there. I don't really understand this locomotive because it's really complex to me, but I feel like that locomotive over there is more complex. Yeah, that's what we're moving on to next, the 363. So let's get started on the 363. So now we are on the DBBR 363. You could also raise / lower these couplers. They're sort of like American styled couplers, and they're honestly way better to use instead of getting up and then climbing down. So yeah, you're gonna want to enter the cab through these side doors, which are pretty hard to squeeze through. Then you can climb up inside. Here's the 363 cab. First you're gonna want to hold down engine start. Or not, hold up. Might be missing something here. Running. Hold up. I might know what's wrong here. So, you don't want to put that changeover. Maybe? No. Okay. I'll go with that in a second then. So, this is the second man seat over here, by the way. It just has an emergency stop button, but anything else here I'll go over on the driver's side. But, got sand, horn, and yeah. Train brake and direct brake. So yeah. Oh, okay. To start up this thing, you might want to put that to master key on. And hold down this or press it. And eventually it'll start up. PCB breakers in here. So yeah. I know there's CFA in here somewhere. Just don't know where it's at. But yeah. Anyways, let's sit down in the driver's position. Got an uncouple switch. Horn. Sand. And yeah. Find control cat valve. I don't know what that does. So yeah. I didn't mean that. Push the changeover button. You can then put your reverse to forward. You can also release the driver's brake or the train brake and the direct brake because your handbrake back here is holding the train or the locomotive. Got a wiper, manual wiper back here too. And your PCB console is over there and right there. Back there, that brake release button, and got a window here too. And look, see if there's anything on the roof. My bad. Down over here, I don't know what this floor plunger is. Might be something under the locomotive. Anything on the outside? Don't think so. No. Got wipers too. And yeah. So yeah. Let's put that back. And your left wipers are on the second man's side. So yeah. Anyways, let's get started. Engine stop buttons over here as well. Got PCB acknowledge, release, and override. Now let me make sure power and fuel pump is on. Got cab light here as well, engine room light, and your front headlights. There are no tail lights on this, so yeah. Rear headlights, stem lights, instrument lights, engine light, and yeah. I think you're gonna want to make sure gear selector is either shunting or long distance. So yeah. And yeah, that might be it. Down here, by the way, is PCB cutout. Cutout. PCB cut valve. You're gonna want to make sure that's cut in order for it to work. There's CIFA in here somewhere. But on keyboard, you just hold down right or left shift, then enter, and then CIFA will turn on. I'm missing it somewhere. Is it back here? Where is it? I don't know. Somewhere down here somewhere. But yeah. But anyways, I think that wraps it up for the 363. So let's move on to the next locomotive. But throttle, increase it, and yeah, and idle it, and yeah. And I think that's it. So let's move on. So now we are on the DB double stock cab car. So let's get inside. You're gonna want to enter through the nearest passenger doors, and then close them behind you. Hopefully, yeah. Then enter the door here. On the right here, you got a second man's seat or conductor's seat, along with the first aid. Back here, you got PCB mode, which is probably most likely going to be O because you're passenger service. You got blinds on the door and the window too, to block people from seeing you. Got it. Taillights and headlights out in the back here. Got SIFA. So yeah. You're gonna want to make sure the battery main switch is on. It will be on once you see this red bar go in the red zone. And here's also PGV. And SIFA is up there. So yeah. Nothing down here really. Got wipers. And yeah. Emergency brake. To open the passenger doors, you're gonna want to make sure this is on the side that the platform is on. For example, we're on the right side, so we're gonna make sure that's set to unlock right. Then flick the switch towards you. But we gotta set the reverser to neutral first. Then there we go. Over here is your destination panel. We'll go over that in a minute. Start the unit, put the pantograph to raise, and close the main circuit breaker. And hold train line power in start for 5 seconds. And then it will start. And then you can put the reverser to forward. Here you can turn on your coach lights. There's the lights behind you. And the coach is in the seat area. You got sand. You could release your brakes. We're gonna have to turn on headlight and instrument lights. And you can turn on your headlights. So yeah. By the way, that's a 1, 2. Here we got signal lights, headlights dim, and headlights bright. So yeah. You got cab and timetable lights. To let your brakes charge, turn on the brake key. Here's the train brake. Train brake is your locomotive and passenger car brake. And electric is dynamics. So yeah. Also got a brake overcharge next to the brake key. Direct brake is the cab car brake. So yeah. You got PCB acknowledge, release, and override. You're also gonna want to make sure air compressor's on and the traction fan is automatic. Here you got the horn in the back. You got passenger door switch, shunting control, PCB release, acknowledge, and yeah. Here you can open the window, and then you can use shunting. I also get a CIFA button next to it. Down there, though, is a CIFA pedal. Also a CIFA button over here. But yeah, I think that covers most of it. So you can, so we're gonna go to destination panel. To turn it on, make sure destination power's on, and then as you see it turn on and it says niche in Stiegen, we're gonna put that to destination service. If it's niche in Stiegen, that means it's not stopping on like at a main station in the line. So yeah, but since we're going to get Hagen, it says RE Hagen hop on off. But yeah, then flick it away from you. And yeah, so that does it for the cab car. Also, there's no AFB. I think there was supposed to be an AFB lever here, but yeah. Your main screens here though, in display, the speedometer, and this weird bar looking thing. Another weird looking bar set, and second screen just has in display, which is like the bars as well. But yeah, now let's move on. And we can apply throttle, and we are now moving. Also, emergency brakes over here, along with shunting control, PCB release, override, and acknowledge, and etc. Along with passenger door and horn back here. But anyways, let's move on to the final one, the 143. So now we are on the DBBR 143, which is the final one. So let's get started. Also, this thing does not have a destination board, even though it looks like it does, so you're gonna have to go all the way back to the cab car and turn on the destination board. So yeah, let's enter here, go to the back. So yeah, you're gonna want to hold the battery and start for a few seconds, and then you can leave it. I also got PCB, CIFA, and PCB mode. Since this is like a mix, you can put it to PCB mode M for freight and O for passenger. You want to make sure the pantograph is rear, and you could go inside the cab. Hold up, sorry about that. So yeah, and here's your emergency brake valve. You got a window here and shunting station. With that back up, signal device, and CIFA button. Oh, I didn't mean that. Got a passenger door button. You got wipers too. Which goes on forever. It feels like forever at least. LCB, PCB, acknowledge, override, auxiliary reset, and auxiliary drive. But yeah, got blinds here too. LCB, PCB, override, acknowledge, auxiliary release, and auxiliary drive. We got a reverser. You can put that to forward. Instrument lights, desk light, running program, traction only. You're gonna want to raise the pantograph and close the main circuit breaker. You're gonna want to make sure compressor is automatic along with traction motor fan. You're gonna want to put the train power to on and the train lights to on. Yeah. Add cab light. You got headlights left. This is what red looks like. And then you can put that to white. This headlight setting means that this is the leading locomotive. This setting means that the locomotive is trailing. So yeah. But then for leading, we're gonna put that to white and headlight on. You're gonna want to release the driver's brake. That means that's the locomotive and the passenger car or freight car brakes. PCB, LCB, acknowledge, release, and override. Sand, front and back. Horn. Auxiliary control. You want to make sure the tractive / braking effort is 100. AFV, it actually powers up your locomotive too. So put that to your selected speed, and you're off. But yeah. Also, door selector, if you put that to left or right, and flick the switch towards you, the doors will open. So yeah. But that wraps it up for this episode. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to give it a like and maybe subscribe to the channel. If you do, you'll become part of the awesome squad and first 100 subscribers club. But yeah. Anyways, I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.